Hello, welcome to Cadence Radio. I'm Woomaloo. You call me Wooma for short, of course. And I'm back. I wanted to come here, talk to you about some current events, and give you a weekly update. Although you probably already know, but what I want to talk to you guys about is is us as human beings, is us as what we're going to be doing in the next 25 years. I've been sitting here, I've been talking to my friends, of course, been knowing them since I was 16, 17 years old. Probably not, no, actually 13, like way back when. Grew up with these boys. Our past is similar. We're all family men now, except for a couple, but I got a feeling that there will be in the next couple of years or so. And us as our generation was supposed to be living longer. They said the life expectancy for us should be plus 10 years with all the modern technology they talk about, and in medicine and stuff, getting a little bit better. But I was talking to him and I told him we probably have a good 20 years for us to really, really put our minds not put our minds to test, but to really, really give our life that change we want. But we got 25 years. And then basically the next 25 years we'll be hopefully celebrating our fruits of our labor. What needs to change, though, is how this world is run with the economy, with our social media, all this new platforms of speaking out, new platforms of getting information, and the food we eat. Yeah, that really needs to change, because I've also been to funerals where some of my friends, they don't even make it till 40 or 45. Either poor health, other situations. And yeah, that's 40, 45. And that's in my little scope of the world. But I know some kids up in the world, across the world, especially in those places, they don't even make it till the 10 or 15 years old. So us as human beings, we got to do better. And I think it starts with the economy, what we're exposed to, what we're being taught, what we're being trained in needs to change. Because honestly, I got a feeling that it's going to get worse before it even gets better. I was reading a couple of things. Like I said, I'm going to put in a little shout out for Edge of Wonder that David Wilcock on. Great orator, great narrator, great writer, and loads of information. Is like a walking encyclopedia, basically, of current events, history. It's pretty cool. But he's right. The best time to really be was probably the 1950s, right after the World War, like when technology was at the fullest, where people could go to work off one income, and you have a real family. But that family structure has been broken down with and it first comes with economics. It's the biggest thing. And the biggest culprits is I would say the bank. The bank is the biggest culprit. They're one of the biggest Ponzi schemes of all time. they've held hostage societies and countries in the world to debt. This money magic, Babylonian paper money, where people think that is king. Check out my blog on cadenceradio.com about the money magic, what we can do to get out of it. First thing we have to do is basically reset the whole economy. We need to take that down. They're making it worse. I know with this migration pact, I was reading a little bit of article with it, and all I gotta say is screw you, Justin Trudeau. Like, honestly, what are you trying to do putting us in a migration pact and get people to migrate here? Canada's hard to live in as it is, and then you're going to get other people from third world countries who have nothing to come in here, while the people in Canada are barely striving with nothing. That is a recipe for disaster. It's not, people not getting vetted and stuff. It's a recipe for disaster. It's just basically a more control. It's a control mechanism. And these people, these demons I call them, they've been sitting there and they operate order out of chaos. They operate in fear. They want people to be so scared, and they'll do any means possible to do that. And it's ridiculous. So we need to go after the banks. We need to audit them. I pay taxes. I work, I pay taxes. But honestly, when I'm looking at the taxes I pay, because in Canada, we're taxed about 33%. It's like 33%. So 100% of my income taken home, 30% goes to the government. It says it goes to healthcare, goes to education, goes to hospitals, goes to that. But ever since I've been in Calgary, they've closed down about 4 hospitals. They blew up 2 to go in the parking lot, and they built 1 hospital, maybe 2, and revamped 1. So to me, it's kind of ridiculous saying that it's going to healthcare, they can't afford it. But what I know, with all that money which is being siphoned off the people, that ain't going to the people. It's going to these bankers and these freaking smug blue bloods, whatever you call them. They siphon the money so they can get more control for their families in the long run. And I think it's been like that for thousands of years. So people need to do it, need to research. One of these people I like is, I forget his name. It'll come to me. But honestly, Ken O'Keefe. There's 2 Ken O'Keefes. There's Ken O'Keefe for Project Veritas, and there's Ken O'Keefe he's a very controversial speaker. He speaks. He's pro-Palestine. He tries to throw this out. He's saying that all that money going to, where's all that money going to? And most of it is going to fund wars, which take over other countries' resources and kill their people. And he's right on, because that's basically most of the taxes which go to. Little goes to the people. So you're working for a bigger cause, a cause which is detrimental to society. But once the people wake up, and I can see that right now, because I see it in France, I see it in Britain about this yellow vest movement. But this yellow vest movement, you gotta discern a little bit and do a little bit of research. So I think it was organic in France, in some parts. I think it was organic, but moving in, you got some inside agents who are on the ground just causing havoc, and causing havoc bad. So these guys can operate out of a order of chaos again. But I'm gonna say is keep what you're doing and protest. And I think that people are just waking up. You're getting taxed. These guys are broke because they wasted our money. And I'm talking about everybody. You're working for that money. Doesn't matter if you're working in Canada. Doesn't matter if you're working in the States. It's going to the same place and it's using for the same nefarious shit that we're not privy to. So lots of people waking up on that. And these guys are broke. Then I don't think they're broke. They just want to take more of our money, more control. And this carbon tax, that carbon tax is so ridiculous. It is one of the most pseudosciences things. No one knows how the environment. No one knows how the environment does work or Mother Nature works. You cannot have a study in 100 years saying that this is what's happening when this Earth has been here for 4 billion years and it's been cycling through it. It does not matter. We can all die off. The Earth is still going to be here. It's going to do what it needs to do. We're not the culprits of destroying the environment and stuff. We're here, but are we the cause? Like, are we 100% the cause? We're the cause of something, but we're not 100% of it. And how ridiculous is it that they throwing in a carbon tax, saying that we're going to tax you on this environment, and because we're the cause of something, carbon, which has been here for decades. Not decades. I'm talking about since the beginning of time. That's one of the life gases. So don't tell me that I'm going to pay a tax on air. And the best singer was one of the oldest Onyx songs. He calls it, I loved hip hop from back in the day. It's like one of his lyrics was true to the fact now. It's like, oh, you're going to pay a tax to breathe. Like, so prophetic from back in his days. I think it was Sticky Fingers. But it's the truth, though. We are paying a tax to breathe now. And they brainwash lots of people with this pseudoscience, which is not even relevant to the fact. And they're saying that you need to pay for this in order for us to get to somewhere. But no, these guys don't know what the hell they're talking about. It's been debunked since the back in the day. They found out that these scientists were paid billions of dollars to say this, so they cut a deal so they can get some of that money. Al Gore saying that Alaska would run out of ice now after his unspeakable truth. One of the biggest propaganda bullshit I've ever seen in my life. He put that on there, and then look at how he says the glaciers would melt now. There's more ice in the northern hemisphere now. There's more ice in Antarctica now, and this guy's saying that all the ice would have been melted by now. But then he goes back and talks to the scientists and like, oh, we made one calculation wrong. We got the calculation wrong. Give me a break. This is just the biggest hoax and the biggest bullshit of all time, man. Yes, I can say that, yeah, we need to do better with the environment. We do. We need to do better with the environment for sure. But I'll tell you this right now. These people have the resources to clean up the earth. They do have that. Do they want us to know that? No, because they want to kill most of us off so they can control the rest of us and move on and have that. But the biggest thing for them is to destroy everyone and keep them living. That is the number one thing they want to do. These demons. And you know who those demons are. You will know who they are. They'll come out to tell you what it is. They're right in front of your face. They're right in front of your face. They will say what they need to say. They'll lie right in your face, and then try to destroy you. But I could see that lots of people are waking up. We are waking up. It's the truth. People they ain't falling for this garbage. They're not falling for this garbage. The script has been thrown out. These guys are not. They ain't smart. Their plans or whatever they want to do is not working anymore. And I'll tell you this for example. I'll go back to the Yellow Vest protests. The Yellow Vest protest did go off last week. There was a lot that protest. People were going thousands. There's about thousands of people around the streets of Paris. Then what happens a day or two after when these guys have some control? Macron, whatever, this one of the puppets or whatever in this charade, he says that he's going to back down with the carbon tax. He's going to take that off. He's not going to tax overtime. He's not going to do this. But the people want to overthrow him. They're like, you're out of here, man. We don't want your little hand-me-downs. You got to get out. And what happens a couple of days after? A huge mass shooting in Paris again. And 2 people died. 14 people got injured. And all for what? And here's my scenario and here's my prediction. I know a couple of people predicted that. Reason why that happened, because they know these protests are going to get bigger. So now the reason why that happened, they can bring in more people, more UNs, no more peacekeepers, more whatever that army is, the EU, more people, more of those guys to come in and basically take these protesters out. And this is what happens. Keep an eye out on that. Keep an eye on that. Because, honestly, France, they don't have a Second Amendment. You know, you can have guns in Europe. Imagine if the Yellow Vest came down here and in the USA, in Canada, and people started protesting now, saying that we want our money back. We want our freedom back. Now, these guys got guns. Most of the people have guns up in the States. So just keep an eye on that. And people are scared. And as much as you don't like Trump, honestly, I wasn't a fan in the beginning of Mr. Trump. But the more and more I see the media attacking him, the more and more he's speaking truth to the fact. He's like, look at Paris. Look at what's happening to Paris now. Because I wouldn't want to go into that deal. And it's not only about the carbon deal. It's not about the UN pact. This peace treaty about the environment and all that. It's not about the carbon tax. It's also about migration. And that's thrown into it. They don't tell you most of that, what that bill is. But most of that bill is what it is. You know, it's more migration than anything. So if something happens in my environmental disaster or some wars happen, they want to get people into these places. And that's what these people are fighting about. The reason why all those taxes are going up in Paris is for people who are migrating and stuff. They can sit down and they sift off the system. So what are the government going to do? They're going to tax the people even more so they can take all these people coming out from other countries. Tell me if that's fair. And that's why I'm pissed, because we signed that pact. Canada signed that pact. We're already taxed as much as it is. We're taxed 33% or 30%. What's going to happen if all of a sudden something happens and then we need to take about 1 million people into our country because we signed this pact? They say that it's not law-abiding or anything, but give me a break. There's a catch to it, and there's something fishy over here. Because what would happen if we get 1 million people in there? Who's going to take care of all those people? The government is going to take care of them. You know, what's going to happen? That 33% tax or whatever it is going to go up to 35, it's going up to 40% now. You're going to pay for those people coming in. You're going to pay for the housing. You're going to pay for the clothes. You're going to pay for all this stuff. You know? And then what's going to happen? The poverty rate is going to even plummet. Unemployment rate is going to plummet. It's going to spike up. And what you have out of chaos. You're going to have people despising these people coming into their country. You're going to have these politicians talking. Politicians left and right talking. One people is going to take one side of the people coming in here. The other politicians going to take the side of the people. They're going to vet it against vet us against them aspect, divide and conquer. People, you're going to see crime raised, you're going to see fights, you're going to see protests, you're going to see all that. And it's just basically back and forth, and these guys just sit down and just laugh about it because they got you. So people are waking up to the level to the fact. The easiest thing to solve migration is get the hell out of the other people's countries, stop bombing them, and instead of bombing the countries for their resources, go in and teach these people how to use their resources and how to prosper. Easiest thing, and it can be done. But we got them damn psychopaths running the asylum, and they're killing everyone in their path. So we need to do, like I told you guys, we need to do our research, man. We need to audit everything and anything, man. This goes way bigger than us. It's way bigger than us. You know, these guys have this plan. This has been planned out for. This plan's been probably planned out for the next 100 years. These guys have a plan sitting right there for the next 100 years. You know, and they're throwing it out. Is this according to plan? No, because something got disrupted, and I think Mr. Trump is one of the disruptors. I think Mr. Putin is one of the disruptors. I think there's a force, good and evil, clashing together, you know, and good is slowly coming up and taking it over, and good needs our help. All the good people here, they need our help, and it's just basically throwing and spreading out the truth, like Mr. Wilcox said off Edge of Wonder. Throw that truth out, man. Throw it out as much as you can, you know. Discern, have that logic in mind. Don't get based off emotion. Just get based on logical thinking, man. You know, just sit down and just think. It's just like when I hear these guys attack, why are they attacking him? Why are they attacking Trump? You know, research that. Why does he want to build the wall? What is the biggest money maker for those demons? And I'll tell you what the biggest money maker for those demons is. This migration pact is. Because what migration pact is you know what comes around the border? Comes all the way around the border is drugs and humans, little kids, human trafficking. That's the number one biggest money maker for these people, for these demons. Sex slaves, all that stuff. That's some true shit. Look it up. And this migration pact is happening. You know why those wars happen in Haiti? You know why those wars happen in Africa? Because when that wars happen in Africa, who comes swooping down there? It's the Red Crosses, all these non-NGO government organizations, and they swoop up and take the kids and sell them because the parents have died. The parents don't want them. There's so much problem, so they're selling off their kids anyways. This shit is real, man. And it's happening everywhere. Yugoslavia, it's happening everywhere. It's the biggest money maker of all time. So you tell me about the migration pact, what it's going to be. Right? That's what it really is. And we need, and that's the reason why that's what President's saying, build that freaking wall. Because if you build that wall, now it's not throwing the problem up. When you build that wall, it stops all this. Because the biggest money is in the Western country. You got fucking oligarchs, you got all these people who are willing to pay that money. So if you stop that and you stop the drugs off, those are the two of the biggest money-making things taken out. But after you do that, after you build that wall, you need to go into your system and get rid of these criminals. I'm not saying that the government is a bad thing. I'm just saying that the people who are running the government right now, those are the psychopaths. They need to leave because also is more regulations, more all this. Government's good, but too much government. It's just a power-ridden thing. We need to tax, and regulate. Little government, man. That's how it works. That's how everybody is. Or no government at all. Because honestly, I think that people can run themselves. If you have civilized, logical thinking people, we'll be okay. We don't need a leader to come up and tell us this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. It's so funny that all those politicians, you know how much money those guys make for just sitting in an assembly and talking? Kickbacks, they're making millions of dollars. These guys got mansions. Imagine that, mansions. Like, it makes me sick. It's not only happening in the States, it happens here too, man. Like these politicians, our prime minister has a foundation. He has a foundation, a secret foundation has been going on for back in the day with his dad, who was a prime minister. Now this guy's a freaking give me a freaking break. A drama teacher. He's not in it for the people, man. He doesn't work for us. He said it when he ran that oath, and he talked about being, he played allegiance to the Queen. He doesn't play, that's what it is when he was first prime minister. I pledge allegiance to you, my Queen. He ain't a pledging allegiance to the people. He pledged allegiance to the Queen. You know, so whatever, and what do you think all that money goes to? She gets a cut of our taxes. Fucking ridiculous for her to sit down. The biggest welfare recipients in the world are the monarch. Welfare recipients, that's what they are. And Mr. Trudeau over there, he has a foundation which he doesn't want to leave. And you know how much kickback he's getting through the EU and through all that stuff to get his foundation going? This guy's a joke. Kick him out, man. Like, honestly, kick him out. There's hardworking people in Alberta, hardworking people in Saskatchewan. He don't even care about us. You know, since he has Ontario and stuff for that, he's okay. But look at how that province is doing. You know? We need to buckle up, man. We need to see who's real. Take your country back. Take our country back for sure, man. We just need to do it, man. Do the research. You know? I want to see where my money goes. I can go to the government. We can all go to the government and say, okay, I'm paying tax for this. Where is it going? Line for line, where is this going? You know, I paid 5,000 taxes. But no, I owe money for some reason. I don't know how I owe money, but I do. But I just want to see where all this money goes, man. Where is it going? If you can't give me that, then don't take my money. If you can't give me a proof of it, and we should be asking our people, MLAs. We should be going up and talking onto the parliament here and saying that. If I find out that my money is going to this war I never asked for, killing innocent people in a different country and stuff, god damn, I'll be pissed. It's ridiculous, man. So yeah, guys, just like I said, do that research. Roll out, wake up, and do it up. Do it up harshly. And I got a feeling that I'm an optimistic guy, and I got a feeling something is going to happen. I think the next couple of years are going to be one of the ever-changing years in the history, and I'm glad to see it. I'm glad that my parents will be able to see it too. You know, because I got a feeling in this couple of years, there's going to be some reset, a huge reset, and people will be like, this is what it is. There's going to be a whole bunch of truths coming out, and people are just going to either, some people might have a nervous breakdown, or some people might, I say most people are going to take to the streets, man, and demand something to be done, and demand some people to get the hell out. Because there's a lot of skeletons coming out. And hopefully it's not too late. But this Cadence Radio, guys, I'll be back again. And hopefully you guys subscribe to my channels. Check out everybody else too. I'll shout them out. Liz Crokin, one. Jordan Sather, another. David Wilcock, I said it. Corey Good. Dustin Nemos. SGT Report. X22 Report. Check all those guys out. Those are guys who are speaking truth to power. And keep at it, guys. And yeah, and Dave Jander. Have a good one. Peace.